All right, good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is 6:40 right now. I have a class to prepare for, and I'm doing it at this very moment. I it's Friday. It's Friday. It's a Friday at the tail end of a week of primarily around 4 to 5 hours of sleep, um, which means I am a little sluggish, but it's not the worst. It's not the worst. Yesterday was pretty bad. Yesterday when I was taking the test, it was pretty bad. But today, I feel, you know, it's just a thing. I just feel good. I just feel it. There's no reason for it. So I'm gonna get into this, and if I learn anything from yesterday's mistakes, um, with the practice test that I did that I didn't record, the lesson would be don't be such an academic trying to find the 100% correct answer every single time, because even though I can sometimes do that, especially when I'm feeling good and especially when there's no logically weird suspicious answers, with the practice test that I'm working with, you know, I even though I can, doesn't mean I should, especially when I'm trying to demonstrate what it's like to actually take the test under real conditions. So, so today, I'm just gonna focus. I'm just gonna remind myself not to get too obsessive about getting 100%. Like, this answer has to be 100% correct before selecting it. I'll try to be more strategic with my time use. Yesterday, I spent 4 minutes total on this one question. That is miserable. That is miserable. That should never happen. So those are some of the thoughts that are on my mind. Now, I will be. Let's see. I will be getting started just now. Let me see. Am I missing anything? The audio is working, and the title over here is the right title. So I think we can just get going. Let's go. Oh, I'm being silly. Timer. Give me a second. And maybe, if you guys don't know, and if you guys are iPhone users and your phone, whenever you use your timer, the annoying thing is that it actually like turns off the screen. Uh, Look into guided access, okay? Because if you turn guided access on, and then if you tell guided access to not let the screen turn off, then you can just keep the timer going without the screen ever turning off. Okay, so I'm doing this right now. 3, 2, 1. We're at 14 seconds and we're getting started. Willa Cather, pioneers. I actually don't know a lot of Willa Cather. Bergson is Alexandra is the daughter, and John is the farmer on his deathbed. It's 1913. Here we go. John had made but little impression. Still, what he's gonna die with no big impact. Mischance hung over the wild. The genius of the wild is unfriendly. And then the grass. Land in itself is desirable, but this land was an enigma. Such an interesting perspective. So, this was a hard land to understand. He could not conquer this land. And by conquer, we're talking about farming. This seems German. Bergson? Northern European, anyway. Oh, I just zoned out. I was zoning out thinking about my class. Oh my god. Okay. I've been thinking about these things for weeks. Okay, he's about to die. The roof beams that he himself had owned, or the cattle. He counted the cattle. How much weight? Okay, so he's lots of daydreaming here. He often called his daughter in to talk to her about all of his daydreaming. His 12-year-old daughter, poor girl. She had already begun to be a help to him on her resourcefulness and good judgment. His boys were good, but when he talked to them, they usually irritated him. It was Alexandra who read the. Oh, Alexandra is the genius of the family. That's kind of touching, actually. This hardened farmer man and his connection with his daughter. They were industrious. Lou and Oscar were industrious, but couldn't teach them to use their heads. Like her grandfather. Cool. Yes, intelligent. Grandfather had been a shipbuilder, considerable force, and some fortune. So positive. A Stockholm woman of questionable character, much younger than he. This marriage was an infatuation. The folly of a powerful man who cannot bear to grow old. He warped the probity of a lifetime. You know, I actually forgot. I forgot the definition of probity. He speculated. Leaving his children nothing. But when all was said, that's what he had done. He had done all of this. And he had proved himself a man, and now his daughter. He recognized the strength of will, the simple, direct way of thinking that characterized his father in better days. He would much rather, of course, He would much rather. Okay, this is interesting. He wished he could have seen it in one of the sons, but he had no choice. And he had to accept the situation as he was about to die. At least there was one that he could entrust the future of his family and the possibilities of his hard-won land. Amazing. Actually, I dig this story. Where's this transition? Where's this transition to the grandfather? The grandfather over here. That's big transition. All right, 550. Let's go. Huh. Great story, actually. I feel the weight of the worry. So many themes, but exploiting the environment is not it. Dependability, conflict, no. Foolishness of denying the inevitability of full mastery. Yes, that's at the very beginning. That's 620. I'm feeling good just because, unlike yesterday, I can do some no look choices. So that's good. The main focus of the thoughts shifts from nature to daughter to grandfather, to father. No. You know, weakness is deplores. Yeah, we're not going from weakness to strength. To his eventual no of the land to the personal qualities. Yeah, qualities. Yeah. 705. I'm not gonna look. Let's go. 1417. Was there a simile? There was a simile. Had the old world believed that, but this land, it was like a horse. Isn't that 15 through 17? Anyway, it was like a horse that no one knows how to break the harness. It's a wild horse. You can't. It's a Mustang. You can't control it. Is it? Okay, I have to connect it back to a previous line, so let me just double check. It's probably connecting. Okay, yeah. It was still a while, especially 3 to 6. Okay. It expands on it. Yeah. Yeah. It expands on it. 8. Let's go. 8. Is that taking too long? That took a little while, but it was an unusual type of question, so why not? The main contrast that John Burks draws between himself, he actually, they don't know. They don't know farming. They're less skilled at, yeah. Yeah, they don't know farming that well. 42. Who follow? He tracked the news. She stayed informed about. Yeah, 8:30, and we're going. They are industrious, but they don't have a head. Yep. They are industrious, but they don't. I mean, I could just look back. I don't really need to, but we had the industrious or resourceful. No. Where's the industrious? Yeah, industrious, but no, couldn't use their heads. Okay, so see that by itself already wasted like 15 seconds, or 10 or 15 seconds. But yes, I already knew. The passage that supports. She's very good with the details. She doesn't know. Who cares about others? Yes, instinct and insight. No, she doesn't defer. She's not a better farmer. Yeah. Okay, and that one was just above her resourcefulness. Okay, good judgment. But she'd also. And this is the real evidence. Okay, this is the evidence over here. So I think this is gonna be the right answer. 42 to 47. Yeah. So let's go 42, 47 first. Oops. And let me just double check. 49, 51. 43 to 47. It was Alex. Yeah. And this one ends with himself. So it starts with it and himself. It himself, yeah. 49, 51. Just double check. Even though I normally wouldn't. Yeah. That's just talking about his grandfather. All right, here we go. 10:30. Afraid of aging. Oh, that's when he marries the young woman. Yeah. Yeah, that's over here. 57, 8. Okay. And I'm moving on. 10:55, by the way. 66, 75. What situation is most like this? What situation is most like this? He recognized this. Of course, he would have preferred that, but he has to accept the situation, and he's thankful that he at least has one. Okay. 66. I have to accept the reality. Not the one. Sure, I think C works. I don't know why I'm jumping around. This is not a good habit, just jumping around from 8. Like, at least I should eliminate it along the way. Chastises, no. Collaborate, no. Yeah. Better opportunities. Yeah. Not the one. 11:55. It's taking a little more time than I wanted it to, especially for something that I had such high confidence on. So I'm not gonna. So I went back intentionally to show evidence, but I'm actually losing time by doing that. That's not good. Milton Friedman, the Friedmans and Free to Choose versus Government is Good. Oh yeah, we have a conservative position, a liberal position, modern economics. Here we go. freedom to choose how to use our income, how to spend on ourselves, how to more than 40 is not freely chosen by us. That's such a good way of saying that, though. In 1929, what the? What, I don't understand what this logic is. Why would it keep changing? Okay, whatever. Something to say about how much our income is spent on the government on our behalf. On our That's such an interesting phrasing. We participate in political process. It's just repetition. It's an expedient, it's not the best choice. It's just the best out of bad options. Okay. Yeah, that's true. You're voting for a package of Democrat or Republican. Something different. Yeah, you don't get what you want. Exactly. You must conform to the majority. Conformity without unanimity. The marketplace. Unanimity without. Huh. Such a. It's only for the. Huh. It's a little abstract, but it is kind of interesting. Okay, so that's a whole thing about democracy there. We're at 15:30. This took me a while to read, but let's go. The beneficial roles that government plays in their lives. Several answers. First, use the benefits. They take them for granted. Benefits. Clean water, stable currency. Not immediate. And they're often not tangible either. Okay? They can be remote and elusive. Oh, it's a perfect comparison. When we go to the store, we get exactly something concrete. Very satisfying. Right away. Right. You know what? I'm gonna make up a sign for when there's a direct connection, and that sign is the tilde. Not so with many of the exchanges we have with our governments. We shell out. Okay, so this is a big transition. Also, okay, less tangible. but of the absence of something. Okay, presence versus absence. The bad things don't happen. Food doesn't make us say brains don't fail, bridges don't collapse. When people are doing their job right, nothing happens. No one notices. So this is the tangible argument, and then this is the not immediate. Okay, 1, 2. Not immediate. So remote, intangible. Remote, intangible. That took me, oops, slow. 6 minutes and 20 seconds, so it's a little long. 40% to emphasize. Too large. It's too large. Occurred later in the year because why would it occur later in the year? Wait, let me just double check. The day in the year when we stop working to pay the expenses of the government. I see. So back in the day, the expenses were cheaper. Basically, 40% of the year is a lot of the year, is what he's saying. Because the government is spending more. Yes. Yeah, because the government is spending more. Is that majority tend to be highly? Nope. One result rarely. Yeah, that's true. 1955. That is the result of the current way. 36, 38. Oh, this is the conformity one. All right. It's not more desirable. No. They are incompatible. Yeah, sure. Similar. No. Sharp contrast. Okay, there we go. Yeah. And the caution is off. 2020. Passage 2. Yeah, intangible, tangible, and yeah, I mean that's kind of it is a centrality. That's true, not the central claim. The connection between paying and receiving. I don't think they don't overlook the connection. They just don't compare properly. 2110. Appreciate. Failure to notice or value. There we go. 2130. Road maintenance, they're intangible because they prevent bads. They don't deliver goods. Yeah. Easier to understand? No. That's more like Milton 22. That's at the bottom. That's not the bottom right. Intangible. Let's see. Oh, here. That's from 80 to. But then we're talking about the no one noticing part, right? So 80 to 87 to 89. Okay, hang on. Let me see. 80 to 87 to 89. Okay. So this is the closest one. So let's go 78 to 82. Right. Right. The unacknowledged. I just want to make sure that the unacknowledged is actually there. Yeah. It's not exactly there, at least as far as I can tell. But, you know, I can come back to it later if needed. But I'm pretty confident in that. Transactions are often taken for granted by consumers. Or no, our sources actually, yeah, they agree that they're very good. They feel very good. 2310. Okay, let's go. Amy. Friedman's proposal of a personal Friedman. Okay, who is Amy? The Douglas J. Amy. All right, here we go. Hang on. They ignore how much benefit there is. Yeah. Yeah. That's top right. Dude, I don't know if I can find the exact right. So from 46 to 63, I'm looking from 46 to 63. So that's all in the first paragraph. Benefits, okay, they disappear from a cost share. Maybe 50 to 51. Let me look at 50 to 51. Okay, 40. You know, I want to come back to this later. 24, 30. Okay, I want to come back to this later. Okay, let's go. I don't normally do this, but I'm being less stubborn. And I'm also trying it out. It's been a long time since I literally just skipped the question. Could rivers bend? Yeah. Oh, so the plants make the rivers stay put? That's kind of interesting. Land plants created the shape of rivers hundreds of millions of years ago. Interesting. They reinforce the ground. Narrower, deeper channels. Then that set the stage for lots of significant events, including the rise of, yes, because all civilizations began next to rivers. Well, I don't know all, but yeah, many. Now, Gibling and Davies have both strengthened the case. Cool. The transitions matched up. The transitions of what? Plant fossils and rivers changing. Okay, plant fossils. Okay. So rivers changing, plant fossil. Let me just make sure. They were very shallow but wide. They were sheets of coarse grains. Huh. Or thousands of more times. Yeah. Wow. That's extremely shallow. Very confident right here. Very confident. Probably nowhere. Okay, Silurian between these periods. The picture. What? Well, that subject verb is very confusing. But anyway, moving on. The blankets of unconsolidated sediment, the unconsolidated sediment appear less frequently, just as landfish with Vegetation with root system also expands. The fossils. Okay. Now we're getting fossils with roots. More traces of mud. Smaller size grains. And organic remains. And shapes shift to become visible. Organized deposits versus unconsolidated sediment. Let me just double check. Highly sinuous, like evidence of lateral accretion. Okay, words that I'm not super confident with. The outer bends of a river and the simultaneous deposition of material at the inner bends is more abundant. Okay, I'm just going to skip this for a moment. There is also variation that appears to be related to the local climate during the times. I see. I wonder how, though. Like which. Okay, now we're having methodology. Tank. Vegetation transformed the channel that flowed between multiple standards into one that self-organized into a single thread channel. I see. The roots was enough. The strength of the roots was enough. Why would the banks migrate? I don't understand. I don't know why the banks would migrate, but sure. But it meanders. It's sinuous. It meanders. Significant progress in the comprehension of one of the most critical phases, the coupling between physical and biological processes on Earth. Okay, sure. This is Korenblit, by the way. Ah, that's what biotic and abiotic is, the biology and the geology. Dalhousie, university geologist. Have the okay, so this is like a random expansion. How would the extinctions shape the rivers? When plant life gets wiped out, do they revert? That makes sense. That's a natural thing to go over. And these are the Dalhousie guys, right? These must be the Dalhousie guys. Yes, they are the Dalhousie guys. Okay, so that was 3130. Took a while. It's hard to read. Trying to process all that was hard, but let's go. Is it a study? Nope. Reading findings that support a long-standing. That seems suspicious. I'm gonna double check in a second. Identify so basically I'm just trying to describe this new theory that has that got strengthened. Yeah, new theory, right? It's a new theory. Conflict? Oh, I just zoned out for a second. How new is this theory? Let's just double check. For decades. Hypothesis. Long-standing is, I mean, is decades long-standing? I guess. I guess. I mean, that's new is two, and it's on the development of this. So no. That okay. Yeah, whatever. Moving on. I mean, I could come back to this later if I wanted to, but I'm pretty much done with that. The reasoning they look for correlations between fossils and preceded. Nope. Shape regularly with no evidence that it is in the past. Did change shape. What? Root of vegetation and reach. Okay. Yes, this is that second thing. Yeah. No, that's perfect. I'm moving on. Plants can affect lateral pattern of flowing water. I think that's top right. Very top right. Hang on, let me just make sure I understand this question. Lateral pattern of flowing water. We're anywhere between 14 and 73. You know, what does lateral pattern? I'm gonna come back to this in a second. Presence of plants rooted near rivers, and I'm just gonna show that I'm skipping. The depth and the size and composition part. That kind of works actually. Not temperature, not the distance, not the color. Yeah, they become finer. Okay, bottom left-ish. Okay, here 43. Organic remains and all that stuff. Okay, that's 3520. Emerge 41 most nearly means. As more complex, surface come around, appear. Not come back. 3540. 11th paragraph 5965. The function. All right, using funding, they visited, methodology, how they gathered, yep. Okay, 3555, conducted at the University of Minnesota. I think that must be the left side, right? Because this is over here, the Canadian government, that's a whole, nope. No, that's over here. University of Minnesota is on the right side, okay. Yeah, to show that the mechanism makes sense, like physically makes sense. Replicate their observations? No. Replicate the observations. To propose? No. No. Yeah, supports the claim. Yep. Very broad, but that's true. That's exactly the true answer. 87 critical most nearly means. 87 critical phase. One of the most important, sure, yeah, important. 36, 45. That was a little easier than I expected. Which finding about rivers about the end of Permian period? I don't remember Permian. About the end of the Permian period. I don't remember Permian. Is it down here somewhere? Ah, man. Okay. And we're trying to support the argument. Okay, but so we're just looking here right now. The Permian period. We have the Cambrian period. But between is there a graph that I'm missing? No, there's no graph. Then we have the Silurian, Devonian. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's not even related to the passage. Oh my god. Okay. They often flowed through areas containing very little Oh no, no, I have to know. Okay, I need to know what lateral accretion is, and I need to know about the Permian period. So let me find the Permian period. It's interesting. I usually circle names, and I did circle these, right? I did circle these. Oh, right. My lord, I just ignored. Okay, once if the river now they have to revert. No, no, no. Sorry. Yes, 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 yes. That would be correct. Now that's 38:15, and I am 2 minutes and 15 seconds over. But let me just make sure I got this. So 38:15. The lateral pattern of flowing water, and now I'm going to look at lateral accretion. So flowing water, these organized deposits became visible because this we're talking about the shapes of shifting. High signals, evidence of lateral accretion, the digging away of material at the outer bends of a river. What's a bend? I don't even know what a bend is. And the simultaneous at the inner bends. We're cutting it out and it's depositing material when there's a curve. (54 to 56). But we want to talk about the lateral flow. Okay, 68 to 73. That might be correct. 14 through 17. You know, at this point, I have to just. Now I'm just guessing. I gotta move and save some time, but I also really need to go and take a break. So I'm gonna take a pause. I'm at 40 minutes. I have 25 minutes to finish 2 passages. That's not a lot of time, so I gotta keep going. I'll be right back. All right, just gonna take a quick water break. And I think we're getting into it. $40. Let's get going. Let's get going. Maybe I'm talking too much, but I'm really pressed for time today. Plus, I'm not understanding all of my answers. Super forecasting. Tetlock. Oh, I really want to read this book, actually. Anyway. If it comes easily, run. Maybe. It's not fine grade enough to distinguish between 60 and 80. It's rarely necessary to make such fine distinctions, you know? Quick, clear instructions. Yeah. This is a little concession, I think. Oh, we keep expanding on this, okay? Right, that's an interesting question. They weigh heavily. Yeah, they do. You can't maintain a state of constant alert. That would be crazy. You need worry-free zones. And the solution is to be simple about it. We want answers. We are simple. Yes or no is satisfying. Compared to maybe. Maybe is not satisfying. Why the media often... So this is who are sure. People trust confidence. And they equate confidence and competence. Lazy or incompetent. Yeah. Okay, probability that stock price would increase. This P guy suddenly goes up. And this Q guy suddenly goes up. And the number of forecasts oh, I see. So P is the unconfident guy. It's the not. And Q is the extremely confident guy. And right, Q is like this. Extreme guy. The simple guy. Let's see. So Q is going to be more popular. He's going to be more trusted. What was the number? I was at 45. So that took me 5 minutes. Not bad. Criticize, nope. Contrast, nope. Ancient. Uncommon, nope. Human tendency, evolutionary context, correct. Reassurance provided by binary options extends beyond matters. I think that's bottom left. I guess, and lots of research on this course. Wait, we're still in evolution on that part. We're still in evolution on that part. Oh, and this is the first example of a non-evolution. 55. Please, 55, come out. All right, here we go. 46. 17, 18. Did not become useful? What? Useful? Is useful the right word? Okay, for this one, I feel weird about the question, so I'm just going to go process elimination. The problem with daily survival became less, maybe, but I don't remember that. Sophisticated, find technology? I don't know. We never talk about technology. Enhanced defense, confidence levels. Okay, when we have less pressing matters. Maybe this. Let me see if there's evidence question following that. I'm gonna make a guess on that one. I gotta move on. I'm uncomfortable making this many guesses. I don't usually make this many guesses. It delivers more than it offers. It provides. 4750. Helps convey a sense of weight. Mental. Yes. 48. Which confidence best states the relationship between the confidence level of somebody and the accuracy? It's correlated, but the less accurate, no. The greater the confidence, more like they're scrutinized, no. The greater the confidence, the more accurate up to a certain point. That seems off. The more accurate that. The more accurate that. Nearly okay. Maybe it's between C and D. I need to talk about this. Or positive. Oh, are you serious? Okay, well, there's no. Are you only supposed to use that? Wow, you have that one sentence to work with. 49 minutes. That's just the definition of positive correlation. Citing the study at the end. This is this is to support this point about how people equate confidence and competence, and okay, contradict. No, no. Several rational subjects have reached that supports. It supports. Yeah. I mean, irrational, but yeah. I mean, that word is a little. It's a little harsh, but yeah. which choice represents the number of forecasts made by forecaster P that predicted us had a 50? P is left side and 50, and so that's 10. Most Q, because accurate, no, certainty, yep. From what ends, so we're at 50-10, and we're at 50-20. Best evidence for the answer to the previous question. Greater certainty. We follow greater, we trust 64 through 66. Oh my god. 67 through 70. Respect? Follow the advice? I guess I don't love that connection, but whatever. I could come back to that if I wanted to. Now, where was that? There was one that I was uncomfortable with. Just one that I was uncomfortable with? Yeah. Probabilistic thinking became useful. I mean, from my prediction, became useful when we it was always probabilistic thinking was always useful. That's kind of my understanding. Okay. But here's the evidence. Okay. Yes, so we're good here. So now we're at 51, 50. Okay. 5150. Annoying. 52. I have 13 minutes left. Tougher plastic with 50% renewable content. Awesome. It's a polymer. Light strong tough is the stuff of ventilation pipes. Like bricks. Oh my! I think my battery just died. My pencil battery. So I'm just gonna stop for a second. Man. It's not pleasant right now. I want to forgive myself. For being so sluggish. Like I know that when I know that from experience what it feels like to be on top of a test, to not let it move. I'm grappling with it and I'm keeping it it's like I'm jujitsuing it, right? I'm keeping it down. And that's not what's happening right now. I'm letting it slip between my fingers. My confidence goes up and down. But one thing that is good today that I'm doing is that I'm just accepting it. I'm accepting it, like the Father, like Father John, or like the Father John accepting Alexandra. I'm just accepting it, and for me, Jesus, I'm guessing and moving on. It's an interesting feeling. It's an interesting feeling to guess and move on. Given how tight time is, I think this is the best I could do. Given how not tight my thinking is, I think this is the best I can do. But I think it's a valuable lesson, if I were practicing the real test, if I were really practicing, if I was an actual student, I would make sure not to waste good material on a sleepy day, on a like not to force myself to just work on a test when I'm sleepy. I think that's not worth it. It's not worth it to use a good test, because the QAS is limited. You only have like less than a couple dozen um, QAS to work with, and then you end up in the land of like Princeton Review and Barron's and all that stuff. It's a strange and foreign land where things don't make sense, and you don't want to get there. Um, Not that they're always bad, but it's just these practice tests that are not QAS create doubts about, like, is this question even worth learning from, right? That kind of doubt um, while you're taking the test, and it messes. I think it messes with your. Um, at least for me, when I'm looking at it, it messes with my psychology. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense, and I don't have to deal with all that, So I want to use the QAS, but if I'm gonna use the QAS, I want to do it when I'm in a good condition. For me, I have to just do it just to finish this preparation for class. But yeah, for students, I would recommend do that. Do not waste a good test on just a bad day. Yeah, because this is what happens. You're just forced to use like strategies for sleep management or tiredness or energy management instead of focusing on just actually understanding. Anyway, that's good enough for. I'm sure I'm charged enough. So let me get this going. Here we go. 52 minutes, 13 minutes remaining. Go. They're derived from petroleum. Not good. They replace styrene with lignin, a rigid polymer that with cellular form the cell walls of plants. It's organic. A solvent-free that interconnects equal parts of nanoscale lignin dispersed in a synthetic rubber matrix to produce a meltable. That's at least 10 times tougher. Wow. ABL is recyclable and can be melted 3 times and still perform well. Amazing material. To diverse manufacturers. What technology? Okay, the technology can make use of the lignin-rich biomass byproduct stream from the refineries. The byproduct stream from the refineries. Oh, okay, so it's from byproduct. Nice. Right, renewable fuels can't compete with fossil fuels, so you want to use byproduct. Okay, so we're talking about prices here for a second. Most underutilized. Pay attention to the mosts. I forgot what ductile meant. Oh man. That's a potential limitation. we need to kind of combine soft matter with lignin. Okay. I see. I completely missed that point. 5630. That's when we talk about soft matter. I double checked because I felt like I wasn't understanding the structure of this passage. Okay, so this is the lignin part, this is the soft matter part. Yep. Let's go. Tensile set and maximum stretch by source of lignin. This is all lignin. So this is weak and doesn't stretch. This is strong and stretches. Hardwoods stretch the most though. And this one is actually the toughest. Okay. Yeah, ABS, you can put it in a bunch of different uses. Yeah. Yeah. Forms 12 forms, okay? A polymer that forms the wall. A polymer that forms the wall. That composes. Sure, 58. Third paragraph, 2436. This is talking about the commercialization and the cost of things and the realistic aspects, methods, rationale, maybe scientific of no, practical benefits result. Not benefits though. It's the rationale. Has led to renewable ones being hard to use, drop in demand for alternative fuel sources. That sounds right. Huh? No, initiatives. Oof, that was weird. That was close. I got confused for a sec. Renewable, thank you for this one. This one's easy. Renewable can't compete for 27, 28. Lignin, it's not expensive. Few polymers that can be processed without use of high heat. That seems almost true. Because there's, wait, high heat? I don't know. Do we talk about high heat? I'll go back to that in a second. Then the original. Let me see. That's at the bottom left, and this is at the bottom right. It breaks too easily. That seems the most right. Because it fractures. Okay, the heat one is wrong. If I had to just guess, I would go with this because that's why 37 to 47, let's look. That's why all this is here. Very brittle, so it needs to be toughened. .40 to 43. 40 to 43 is the best one, I think. Yeah, I'm just gonna 40, 45, 46. Yeah. And 47. Let me just double check 47. Okay, yeah. So we're going. Nitrile rubber. Unequally distributed, so they're likely to interact. It would interact without the use of solvents. Sure. 61, 38, 35. 73 properties. The characteristics. Qualities. Sure. Greatest tensile strength. Which source of greatest tensile strength? Wasn't that softwood type 1? Oops, dropped my phone. And the maximum stretch before breaking produced from softwood type 2. Softwood type 2 is about almost, yeah, about 500. So, and that is 62.35. Now I have 2 minutes and whatnot to go back over some weird ones. I already got that, so we're good. Plants can affect lateral pattern of flowing water. Lateral pattern of flowing water. So I'm looking at 14 to 73. It's all over the place. And to 32. I'm just going through this one by one. It's not the kind of evidence I'm looking for, but okay. The second one's like whatever. And 6873. You know, I'm gonna stick with this, even though I don't like that. I don't even know what this means. Lateral pattern of flowing. 63, 55. Okay. The prime purpose is to long-standing. Yeah, I'm sticking with long-standing because of for decades. So we're going on. We're good. Let's go. Now we have this best answer to the previous question. That's a little harder, I think. Oh, okay, this one I didn't even guess at all. 46 to 63. Benefits that are, they ignore 46 to 63. They disappear from our consciousness. I would use 50. Okay, 46 to 50. We just ignore them. 57, 79, 50, 59. I'm just gonna double check some of these. Yeah. And now we're at 65. All right, and now if I had more time, I would actually go back through all the ones that I would go in purple color pen over all the ones that I like every single question. But today I don't have that much time. So I'm just gonna stop time, and I'm just gonna go and double check all the answers real quick. Where's all the answers? Oh man, that was a rough one, guys. That was a rough one. Not gonna lie, that was painful. Let me find the answer choices. 2019 October, guys. Let me make sure this like saves in a way. So let me see. Where are we? Okay, here we go. And then I'm gonna risk. Oh my god, iCloud is so unreliable. All right, how can I see the answer choices when iCloud is not working and refusing to download this thing? I could just download it again from Reddit. It's so annoying. Okay, mega thread. All right, give me a second while I download again the answers from Reddit, because iCloud refuses to give me my own files. I'll switch everything over to Google Drive. Oh, this is so frustrating. Here we go. All right, and I'm looking at these answers real quick. We're at DDABD. DDABD. Cool. ABCCC. ABCCC. Cool. ACD. DAC. ACD. DBC. That's 15. Let me just double check. 15 is apparently B. Overlook the connection. Sure, why not? Yeah. That people unfairly compare is wrong, and my thinking was not very clear on that one. It got muddled on that one. 16, and I already did 16. Of course, people are not. We're not talking about this. We're clearly not talking about how people out in the world are, like, statistically, when you look at the people out in the world, that they're all complaining about how, hey, the government is giving us these benefits. Just both sides are comparing to sort of sympathize with the people, and also to explain intuitively why government benefits suck or don't suck. That's so. That's a bad answer. It doesn't make any sense that I chose that. BDBAA. Let's look. BDBAA. Now I'm looking at D for 18 because I got that one right, but I'm annoyed that I got that one right. So let me see. See, we're saying this tax money and would provide benefits that are not going to be acknowledged. Let's look at 7882. Of the absence of something. See, I was looking for that acknowledged idea. I guess the idea of absence itself is kind of related to acknowledged, unlikely to be acknowledged, but it was a little more distant, and I felt like there was probably going to be I feel like there's a more obvious evidence for it somewhere in the passage, but I mean, I'll take it. I'll take the point. You know what I mean? I feel like if I had a little more time, I would want to go back to the passage and find a slightly more obvious bit of evidence for this claim. Okay, because I feel like there was a better sentence to support B from 17, but I gotta stay aware of time. I'm a little late right now. 21, I got 21 right, but again, I was not very confident when I did. So I'm just looking at. Oh no, I was just slow. Yeah. They ignore 46 to 50 actually is pretty clear though. Benefits, they fade into the background. They are not considered at all. Okay, so that works. So 28 is not crazy. Wait, did I get anything wrong on 28 then? Oh yeah, I got one wrong so far total, I think. And that was a silly mistake. All right, let's go to 22. 22, I chose B, C, D, A, D. B, C, D, A, D. Cool. C, A, D, A, B. C, A, D, A, B. Wasn't I uncertain on some of this? Oh, yeah. Long-standing was right, that's the decades. And this lateral pattern. Okay, I mean, lateral just means sideways. Like, what the hell is this? Lateral pattern? I'm looking at it. I'm looking at what Merriam-Webster lateral. Let's go into this because I feel like the SAT just the college board just threw the word lateral in there just to force you to confuse it with lateral the that thing on the top right over here, lateral accretion, right? Just to go out of its way and try to confuse you. But why does 68 to 73 say anything about lateral, right? Working in a tank described how vegetation transformed a channel that flowed between multiple. Oh, maybe you know what the problem is? I don't know what a sandbar is. But I am starting to see the potential for lateral now. What is a sandbar? It's a ridge of sand built up by currents. That flow between the sandbars. She walked out onto the sandbar. Right? A ridge of sand built up by currents, especially in a river. Okay. Into a single thread channel. So it was kind of coming down like this and comes to this. And that changes the lateral pattern of, and that's connected to plants. I just wish the word lateral wasn't there because that would have made everything a lot easier. But yeah, I mean, I guess this is lateral, right? But this, like I'm just acting it out, like this, the river splitting across the sandbars and then becoming one channel. I guess that's lateral. Yo, I mean, I got all that right, but I'm angry at the questions. Okay. Now I'm finally here. DDA, DAD. That was starting at 32. DDA, DAC. Okay. Depends on what you mean by up to a certain point. You mean depends on what you mean by. That's a weird one. All right, I'm gonna come back to that afterwards. I'm gonna go with BCBD. So I was shocked at this question. So I got the rest of this correct, and I just want to double check. But I was shocked because I thought they were literally just asking me to define what. Hang on. Correlation means. But I guess and correlation just means if it's positive, it's just positive, It's it's just positive the whole time. But I guess maybe I was being too this modifier of up to a certain point and will nearly always be, right? Here we're talking about that the judgment will always be. I guess here, if you go with the sort of common sense answer, you would just choose C. But I don't think that the wording, the modifier here in this answer choice is exact enough to be like, if I'm being like a kind of like an analytical robot, I don't know if C is the best way of wording that. The greater the confidence level of somebody providing judgment, the more accurate that judgment can be inferred to be up to a certain point. Can be assumed to be to a certain point. Is likely to be. The more accurate that judgment is likely to. See, is it up to a certain point of accuracy, or is it up to a certain point of the validity of our accepting that accuracy? And those are two different things. I don't think that's a well worded answer choice. Maybe I'm being overly picky about it, because I'm getting it wrong, but I have to think about it again when I have a little bit more perspective. Let's go to 42. ABBD. BDB, BC. Hang on, where are we? BDA, BC. BDA, 48A, BC. It breaks too easily, 37 to 40. I mean, the word brittle, I did see that. But, hang on, what? What is 42, 43? Oh, that doesn't... What? Okay, that makes no sense. I don't know why. Brittle is the only thing that defends... Brittle is the only thing that defends breaks too easily, and then that other thing is we need to do it. That doesn't really... we need to do it. It's just the outcome of that weakness. So, right. And these carbons and composites group, right? They're trying to rival, right? So, I don't know what happened there. That was strange. 49 to 50 again was BC, so I think I got that right. So yes, and then the final two are CC. So I think I got 3 wrong total in real time. It was kind of I was actually flapping my wings around quite a bit. I was struggling, but I'm actually surprised I only got 3 wrong. So I'm feeling, I guess, kind of good. But I wasn't feeling so great about some of those questions. I do now have to go, but that was the reading test. Guys, word from the wise. When you use the QAS for your studies, just make sure you're not overly sleepy, because it's kind of a waste of your resources. Okay, guys? So what I did was good. I'm really glad that I was able to manage my time well by just like circling and coming back to things, which is much harder on an iPad than it is on paper. But I'm glad that I still got to do that within the 65 minutes. And while also trying to explain my thoughts and everything. And, honestly, I'm actually pretty happy that in my condition, with this condition of having to take the test under these conditions, I'm pretty happy that I could perform this well. And I think the biggest change was just circling and coming back. The tip that I always give to the students that I always ignore myself, that thing really helped me. That was the 2019 October QAS. It was my first time ever seeing that passage. I hope that was informative for you guys. I will see you guys. Oh, and a quick update. I couldn't take the December test. I have given this update in previous live streams, but I'm just going to keep saying it over and over again. I wasn't able to take the December SAT just because there's like rules around adults who are not going to go to college taking it. So I think I can take it next in March, but it depends on which country I will be at the time. This is my This is my home country of Korea. It's my welcome to my playground. But I will see you guys occasionally as I kind of get back into my rhythm. Right now I'm just teaching, so I'm not doing SAT live streaming all the time. But I will try to do this more in the coming weeks and months. All right, bye guys.